when you hear the word American dream or the American story or whatever, I feel like that's me. I mean, I'm living a dream.
So that's going out right there. It's as smooth as this thing.
So one of the things I told Jeremy right off the bat when I came here, I said, you know, I was telling him, and because I'm a dreamer. I mean, I'm a never satisfied guy. When people think of Big and J, I don't want to think of another deer. You know, somebody says, you know, deer tracking. Big and J should be the only thing they think of. I mean, I want to dominate. That's my mentality.
So obviously, in the world of the hunting endemic, I think our audience has the best passion than any other culture out there. And so many times the hunting companies don't match that same passion. They're looking at dollar signs. They're looking at just another business to get into. And Big and J ain't really about that. They're about having good quality product, but also associating themselves, whether it's their pro staff, whether it's the TV shows they're part of, but also the way they handle each and every relationship.
So I asked some friends, or I asked Jeremy if we could take their product and share it with some of our friends and let them experience it firsthand outside of their circle of friends. And when we did that, most of these people are getting like 30 pictures a day on their game cameras and very excited about it. And when they put Big and J out there, all of a sudden, or BB Squared, all of a sudden they'd start getting 300 pictures. When you do that with 5, 10 people, and they all come back with a similar story, you're like, wow, you know, this isn't just good, it's great.
You know, I can't believe what this has turned into. I know when Jeremy showed up the first time, we didn't know what it was going to be. We bought his first 5,000 bags for him, and now that doesn't even make a day's production. So.
Well, this is it. This is the, I guess you'd call it the original manufacturing building, because that was a kid's swimming pool on a shovel and a rake, and I just would take a bathroom scale and I'd weigh out the mineral and this and that and have all my poundage set and put it all in the tub and then just start mixing it, you know. And once it was fully mixed, took a grain scoop and I'd scoop it in the 50-gallon barrel. And that's what I was feeding my deer and putting in front of my trail cameras, you know. I mean, it's pretty surreal. It's almost unbelievable to look back. I was making the product in my garage to give to my deer to put in front of my trail cameras. That was point unseen. That was the whole purpose. To sell the product was never a goal. It was never a dream. It wasn't even an idea.
Casey, our other managing partner, decided that we'd present our ownership with being an owner of Big and J. It led to where we are today, but it really came down to the fact that our friends put it out and saw the same results in different spots. And the thing that was unique about it is it brought in big bucks, not just doe.
Even though there's a lot of attractants out there on the market that bring deer in, I've never seen an attractant be a buck magnet like Big and J. I mean, just deer after deer, buck after buck. Not only come the first night, but they just keep coming back and pounding it. This amount of nice bucks, there's something to be said about the aroma and whatever the mixture is that this attractant has in it, because the big bucks smell it and they come to eat it and they keep coming back, and I got pictures to prove it.
So it was very exciting to see people get their reaction from their game camera, and you know, it was just an exciting experience, and it just made you want to invest in something. I mean, it wasn't just like generation 2, it was like generation 10. And when you saw that big of evolvement over all these other products, you're like, wow.
Enough of my buddies and whatnot, and elbows in the back. Come on, dude, you need to sell that. You know, I was like, you're crazy. Well, I found a manufacturer, Grow Right Mineral. No idea who owned Grow Right Mineral. At that point in time in my life, I didn't care. And Jerry Heidel, I met Jerry out at Grow Right, and Jerry was like, hey, calls me one day. And as far as I knew, Jerry Heidel was nothing more than a guy that worked out at the plant. Knew nothing about the man. Calls me one day, and once again, I was a road construction worker, so we rained out. It was in August, it was hot, it was muggy, it was nasty, covered in ticks and chiggers and mosquitoes, but by golly, I had a free day. I'm gonna hang my stands. So I'm out there hanging tree stands. Jerry Heidel calls me up, and he said, hey, you got time? I'd like you to come out to Grow Right. And I said, man, I really don't. He goes, well, let me rephrase that. You need to come to Grow Right. Well, lo and behold, he introduced me to the man that truly changed my life. His name is Chris Dinsdale. Chris is my investor. He's my partner. He's my boss, whatever you'd like to call him. He's the guy that has more patience and faith in people than anybody I've ever met. Met with Chris, and little did I know, in a way, it was a job interview. Chris was feeling me out. We sat there and talked for quite a while about what I do, my life and whatnot. And long story short, Chris invested in Big & J. And when I say in Big & J, at that point in time, Big & J was a pickup and a guy driving it and a phone, and that was about it. I mean, he invested in the product and had faith in us to be able to bring it to the forefront.
When I came here, it was, I knew Jeremy, but when I came and interviewed, these guys were just, they were my type of people. They believe in assembling a team and letting these guys do what they were hired to do and get out of their way. And that's what we've continued to do with Zach and bringing on the right people, Josh, and because I believe the team is what makes you successful. There's no one person that can do it all. And you take all of our partners we've been with for a long time, Strut and Bucks. Now we're working with Michael. Everybody in that whole place they play a big part in what we do today.
On a pretty regular basis, we've had people in the hunting industry as well as other TV shows ask us, how in the world have you been able to stay with one partner for so many years? We're rolling on 9-10 years, which is a lot of times unheard of in our line of work. And the answer's kind of twofold, but it's always been really simple. One is we've never tried to look at our partners from a standpoint of you get to be a part of our show. We've always tried to look at it through the lens of we get to be a part of what you're doing, not you get to be a part of what we're doing. And anytime those roles get out of order, it's probably only a matter of time until you can see that partner say adios. Secondly, Big & J is a company that once you get around these guys, you can't help but want to work for them. When you get to see the inner workings of Big & J and be around the personnel that's facilitating this product being put in front of the market, you look at Jerry and Casey and Aaron and Jeremy and Zach and Josh and Lori and just the entire team that's helping facilitate this Big & J movement. They're just people of integrity. They do what they say they're going to do. They follow through. They're people of value. They value other people. And all that resonates with me, and I want to be on a team like that. Not only that, they're very competitive, which I am as well, and they want to literally dominate a certain category of business, and to see that come full circle and see them be able to accomplish that in such a short amount of time is phenomenal.
To look back, I would say the company basically started in 09. I experimented with the product, my base product, for 4 or 5 years, but it truly started in 09. And to see where we're at now, to working with the industry leaders, I hate saying I work with these guys, because you know what? I grew up watching these guys, and now I can honestly say I'm friends with these guys. From Michael Waddell to Kenneth Lancaster to the guys at Strut and Bucks to Dean Partridge in Canada to Nick Munt to T-Bone and so many more. I've met them all, and they're all just like us. It's just to see where we were to where we are is just nuts.
So in 2010, I came up here on a hunt with Jeremy and one of my dealers. We're in building 4. This was an empty building then. using about half the building back then. I told Jeremy that day, that's one of these days, we're gonna have all these filled. Now we had to go buy 2 more. We have 6 buildings. Cramp full. This is my vision from 2010. Took us a little while to get here. This is where we are today.
Go in here and check out this is the plant. This is where all the magic's made, right here. Uh-oh. Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, pretty good. So this is Grow Right. This is Big and J's sister company. This is Daniel. I'm sure a lot of people that watch this have probably called and talked to Daniel. And then we got D. Both of these guys are, like I said, it's a team game here, and they are definitely the behind-the-scenes backbone muscle of this thing we call Big and J. Where it is now from where it was is, once again, it doesn't make sense. So this is where it happens. This is just one section. Obviously, this is one of our baggers. They've got kind of this type of chain gang, I guess you'd call it. Like I said, from where it started to where it is now, it's just amazing how, as the requirements and the quantities and the amount of product we need, the bigger it gets and the more shocking the numbers are. Once again, the family way, they get it done. Ramp it up, they add on machinery and keep banging it out. We sit here and go, I don't think we can get this done, and Casey and the guys go, oh, shut up, we got this.
Yeah, at Big and J, we probably take a different approach than most, just with our unique experience in the feed yard industry. Every day we have to bring the cattle up to the bunk and get the best intake that we can get. And so what we learned in our job every day, we applied to deer nutrition, and we optimize gain every day at the feed yard by intake. And if we get deer to eat and consume feed, we also allow them to grow, be healthy. People ask us every day, why does our attractant work so well? And I think it goes back to just where our roots are of being able to do this as an everyday job. A lot of people don't know that we're actively involved in the cattle industry here in Nebraska. And there's 2 million head on feed every day here, and we have to optimize intake every day.
What really makes us unique is we have different people in our organization that specialize in certain fields, and there's really nobody in the industry that does that. You think about Big and J as a feed company or a attractant. We actually have guys that have made a living. I mean, we feed millions of cattle every day, and Big and J's science is based off of making, the animals we're going to eat later fat and healthy in the quickest amount of time.
Everybody tries to be an expert. Within our company, we have 5 PhD nutritionists, and we make a living every day feeding cattle, but that passion still goes over to the whitetail to be able to design a supplement that is optimal for them as well.
For me, Big and J, it really shouldn't have been a surprise. Other than the product is phenomenal, the way these guys come up with their products and what they do, they're huge in the cattle industry, which is what my background is in. And when you're in that business, you have to have a palatable product, and you have to have a product with the nutrition content to make cattle gain weight. If they don't eat it, they're not going to gain weight. If the nutrients aren't there, they're not going to gain weight. And when you come at a deer feed in that same capacity, the results are what you see. They're going to eat it, and then they're going to gain from it. Horns, body condition, it's just the way it is. We see it all the time in the cattle industry. That's what we make our money on, is putting pounds on cattle. And with the nutritionists behind these products and them being in the field, testing, looking, feed analysis, they're not just coming up with something and crushing it up and putting it in a bag. It's in there for a reason.
So we got so many different specialized parts inside our company, and that's what makes us unique and makes us so different from everybody out there. There's not a company that can take a stance like us, and not on the feed side.
Granted that a lot of it is focused on beef cattle, but deer function the same way as really a beef animal, and so their parts are very similar. And what we try to do at the feed yard every day of optimizing bacteria and gut health, we want to do the same thing in the deer. And beyond that, we're passionate about whitetails too and hunting, and so we really do want to make a difference in those animals.
I mean, I'd say most of our competition, they just think of something while they're sitting in a deer stand and, hey, I wonder if a deer will eat this. We can tell you our deer are going to eat ours. It's what we do every day.
Why do deer keep coming back to our product? And it goes back to the formulation. Many people just want to put salt, sodium in because it's really the cheapest thing, and that desire for that is so much, but it's truly the nutrition. I mean, bringing back the protein, the fat, and just really gut health helps those deer, and so they desire that nutrition and they keep coming back.
To take two guys that brought you a bag out of their trunk and said start making it, to being on the shelf of Walmart, Tractor Supply, Dick's Sporting Goods, Cabela's, Bass Pro, Academy, you know, it's just an awesome experience to take that from a person's trunk and see it evolve into one of the major brands in a attractive category.
If someone calls today at our office, if one of the girls downstairs can't answer the question, they find somebody that can answer it. There's no putting people off, there's none of that. And that just all goes back to we have assembled, and I feel, the best team in the industry. I mean, from customer service, started with a great product, a great team, and that's why we continue to be the leader in this category.
I didn't really understand it all until after I'd been hired. You kind of see where the values lie. Going back to me talking about, well, these are folks that are people, you know, it's shake your hand, look in your eye, and that's what they do. So you combine that with a good quality product and a company's values are still kind of centered and core there. That's what's really gotten us to where we are today.
I can remember calling my wife one day and going, honey, you're not gonna believe this. I just sold a whole pallet. She's like, how much is that? I said, it's 50 bags. She's like, seriously? I said, yeah. I mean, from there to where we're at now, I don't think you could pinch me hard enough to wake me up. And the only real reaction response I have is, yeah, you know, I'm blessed. I mean, it's a miracle. It's a blessing. I don't know what is in plan, why God has put everything where He has, but He's got a plan and a purpose and a reason. There's no doubt about it. I'm nothing special. Now we have special people involved in Big and J. I'll tell you that.
Of course, Jerry's probably the best CEO I've ever worked for, but he's got probably the biggest heart of anybody I've ever seen. I mean, his personality and how he leads just makes you want to wake up every day and strive to be better. I have never woke up or answered my phone one time and be like, gosh, not today. I mean, I've worked for those kind of places when you look at your phone on a Friday and it's your boss calling, you're like, what now? You know, not here. Jerry call you at 7 o'clock at night. It ain't about business. He's calling about something crazy he's seen on Facebook, you know? I mean, or some crazy recipe he's dreamed of, or something he tried to remember, couldn't remember, you know? I mean, don't dread any of those calls, and that's what makes.
For me as a hunter, when I see pallets of feed going across the United States, truckloads of feed going every corner of this country, for me, the first thing that doesn't pop in my head is dollar signs or business or this and that. I think, man, look how many hunters are using my little mix. To me, that's Big and J.
It's the biggest buck of my life. Yes.
mass on that buck. Look at that buck. That is the biggest buck I've ever shot. Humongous deer.
I just killed the biggest buck I ever shot in Georgia. I just shot the biggest buck I ever killed in Georgia. Down right there, son. What a hunt. What a hunt. This is just a stud. Big old, guarantee you 6.5-year-old deer.
I just freaking hammered a stud. I mean a stud of a buck. Oh my God. That's my biggest Arkansas buck on camera since we've been doing this. This sucker is a stud for right here where we are. I mean, just an awesome buck.
Coming home, Papa. We just killed a stud. 6x6.
Wow, what a stud.
What a deer, man. Are you kidding me? That's a giant, dude. I may never see another buck that big in my life.
Good bucks I've ever killed, and to do it on film is pretty special.
We've been hunting that deer for 2 years, man. The giant of East Texas is down. Cocoa Puff, we got him, Cody.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I don't even know what to say, dude.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Never, ever, ever, ever apologize for your God-given right to hunt.
This is really happening. This is really happening.
I've got to get out of here. I'm either in heaven or I could be in hell.
When you hear the word American dream or the American story or whatever, I feel like that's me. I mean, I'm living a dream.